And today we're gonna snorkel in Silfra, which is basically we're snorkeling between the two tectonic plates here in Iceland. We have two tectonic plates that Iceland resides on. That's Eurasian plates and the North American plate. And yeah, we're basically gonna snorkel through that fissure, and it's a really clear water, and it's gonna be a beautiful day. We have a really nice weather in Iceland, 6 degrees Celsius, like 42 Fahrenheit, and little wind, so perfect situation for a snorkel. And I'm gonna switch now. We're gonna have a chat with Héðinn. Welcome.
Hey guys, nice to meet you.
Let's switch the view over here. Then we have here the mountains in the backdrop. Great.
Yep.
So, yeah, I see people are dropping in. Let's focus here.
Perfect. Nice to see everyone. I'm offering snorkeling trips here in Silfra, and this is quite a big or one of the top activities here to do in Iceland. I'm of course going to tell you that it's the number one. But it's like I meet so many guests that after the tour they say this is the highlight of the trip. So it's definitely something that's very unique. And it's very different from a normal snorkeling that image have, tropical wetsuit snorkeling. So almost everything about this snorkel is different from the normal snorkeling trip.
Beautiful.
Yep.
So when did you start this company? This is called Diving Iceland.
Diving Island.
Diving Island.
Yes, no worries. So I started this late in 2007. I was mostly going to focus on scuba divers, but the snorkeling is just has become is a big part of this now. I was in between jobs actually, and my friend who was running a company like this, he asked me to do occasional tours for him since I had the time. And when I realized I could get can you make a living out of this? There was pretty much no turning back. So I was working for him for a little while, and then decided to go into this myself. And main difference between me and the other tour operators here is that I'm have a very small company and operation, and it's very personal when you're just like you're doing the tour with the owner, and it's in small groups, and I focus a lot on quality in the equipment. So I have some nice features like dry gloves. This keeps your hands much warmer, and I'm the only one to offer this, and so it's just more focused on the private and small groups.
Yeah, more personal.
Yep.
And you have similar like a van like this one so people come here and they are able to undress and or put on their suits in that kind of area.
Yeah.
And I just brought along. I hope people hear me very well, but I just brought along like a underwear, like a merino wool underwear, and that's the only thing that you need to bring. Right?
Yeah, so pretty much I provide you with all the clothes that you need for this, but if you bring your own like a first merino wool thin base layer, that's a perfect addition. But so that's the only thing you need to have: thick socks and the base layer. And like you say, I normally have a car like this, but when COVID hit us, I took that off the license plates, and I've been working just with my dive truck over here. So it's when we have to put on these clothes, so you take off your clothes and you have the base layer on, and then you start putting on my layers. People are a little bit different in regards to privacy. So once we get back to normal, I'll have the big van where it's more nice to change, but you can always go in the back of the car to put everything on. But usually it's just like the way we're gonna do it. We're just gonna show how we put on all these layers.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So Silfra, tell us some more about Silfra.
So that's pretty much two things that make it really unique. One is the clear visibility in the water. This is the clearest water you can find on the planet. You could find the same clarity, but just water doesn't get more clear than this. So this is the number one thing that makes it so unique. And it is a very famous dive site, worldwide. You know, when you have a dive magazine or website that posts like 10 best dive sites in the world, Silfra always or almost always gets a mention. So another thing, like you mentioned in the introduction, is the geographical location. We're located where the two tectonic plates are drifting apart, and we have the hill over here and the edge of the Eurasian tectonic plate on the other end, and they are like 5 kilometers apart from each other in this area. And so, yeah, all this landmass that's in between the tectonic plate, while the plates are moving away from each other 2 centimeters each year. This is the same speed that your fingernail is growing, and that is quite fast in the sense of how usually things happen. So because they are moving apart, all this landmass is lowering a little bit, and it also tears up these cracks like Silfra is. So maybe I can show you on the map over here. So we have Silfra over here. This is Lake Þingvellir, and this glacier over here, Langjökull. Pretty much the glacier is melting from below, and it's pushing water deep in the ground all the way over here, and it takes the water 30 years to travel from the glacier until it reaches Silfra. And meanwhile, while it's just traveling in the ground, all the particles in the water, they get filtered in the lava field, and then Silfra is like a spring of water. You always have constant water flow coming here. And this is this is just purely freshly filtered water, and it creates a little bit of current that's pushing water as you're going along in Silfra. So this is just a map from Silfra above. We're right here at the parking lot, and we'll walk this short pathway over here, and we have an entry point over here with a very nice platform with stairs that go into the water, so it's easy to enter. But the water is just always coming up from the ground, and it's pushing the water out into this lake. So while we're swimming on the surface, the swimming effort is really mild. Yeah, and this is what, so if someone steers up a little bit in the fissure, some sediment, it just gets flushed out. So it's always being renewed with fresh water. And one thing that's also unique is that the temperature of the water, it's always the same. Even if it's the hottest summer day or the coldest winter day, it's always like 2-4 degrees Celsius. And yeah, so I get people are sometimes quite concerned about the temperature. They will be, some people are more familiar what they're going into, and some people might be concerned because it's 2 degrees Celsius is just 2 degrees from being frozen. So of course people are a little bit nervous, but it's just amazing at how well the dry suits and the underlayers that we wear are able to protect us from the water. So usually after the tour, people come out of the water and they're really surprised that, whoa, I didn't get cold at all.
Okay. Yeah, that was one of the key things that you always think about when you're thinking about going to Silfra, that it gets too cold. But,
yeah.
But as you said, we are in dry suit, so it's going to be an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
So you see, we are here at the parking lot, and a short walk down, and then we'll go along this fissure over here and end up in a lagoon, like I think. And I like the names: the church, the hall, and the lagoon.
So the reason because of the names, this is Silfra Hall. This is where the fissure widens or also deepens, and it's just this big massive space, so we call this the hall. The cathedral is the deepest open water part, where you have just the walls all along the sides. So when you're scuba diving through there, it's just like walking into a big church. And yeah, so it's... I'm gonna
take a... Bruno from YouTube is asking me to focus a little bit here on the map, so
Yep.
I'm going to do that for him. And hi Jenny and Tanya and Heather and Johanna and Sharon and Vivian, and Gloria and Ashley and Xing, Elena, Doris. There's about 160 people watching, 170. So thank you for tuning in. It's going to be a fun next 30 minutes going into the water. So so should we put? Are you going to put the suits on?
Yeah,
first,
I was
or?
thinking that maybe I would just start by putting on my underlayers and get myself dressed, and then I will help you put yours on. So it's usually people have not been in an equipment like this, so I try to help people out as much as possible. So we just do this proper way.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Vanessa, do you think we have such similar voices? We're both from the Westman Islands. Maybe that's a part of it, but I'm not sure. Yeah, 2 degrees Celsius. So that's for you Fahrenheit guys out there, it's 36 Fahrenheit. So yeah. But so the lake that we're at, Þingvellir is the biggest natural lake in Iceland, about 82 square kilometers, and it has huge trout here. We call it the glacial trout, and they can go up to 100 centimeters more, 120 centimeters. I think the largest one was about 160 centimeters long, so huge trout. And there's a really fun experience here in August each year when they are migrating up this river to reproduce. And so there's this shallow river that's called Öxará, or the Axe River. You can see this huge fish like filling up the river. It's a beautiful sight in August. So maybe we'll have that experience. So now you're in the
Yep. So I had like a nice base layer on.
Yeah.
Then I provide people always with this second base layer, and this is just like it's really nice outdoor fleece material.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's nice to have the base layer. You get this layer from me.
And guys, we're even gonna try to bring the phone into the water. So if my Pixel phone dies, you know that you need to send me a huge tip.
And yeah, if the phone drops, it's gonna be a long live stream.
Yes.
Okay, next up I have this thick undersuit, and this is the main layer.
Okay.
So once I have this on, this is quite this is quite warm and nice and tight. And next, these layers is the things that protect me from the cold. The dry suit protects me from the water. So it's a very strange feeling to be in water in a dry suit, because once I get into the water, I don't feel any cold at all, because it will take quite some time for the temperature to penetrate through all the layers, and it might be at the end of the snorkel that you might get a little bit chilly. You might feel it on your fingers, because when your body gets a little bit cold, what it does is it draws blood from the limbs to protect the core. So you will experience the cold in your fingers, but once you get out of the water, you are completely dry, so you warm up very fast. And if you get a little bit cold, it's very rare that you get into the states where you feel uncomfortable or are not enjoying it. All right, so this is the dry suit. I'm folding it up just to make it into pants. I'll get my feet in here. grab these ankle straps on. Very good. Got these suspenders over here. Got my hands in here, and it's usually the neck seal that's the what people find most uncomfortable about doing. But it's I'm gonna show you this while I help you. But it's just like it's best to just try to get it over the neck seal, and yeah. Here we go. And we call this the rebirth for a reason. All right.
There are a couple of people that have done this already and said it was great fun and enjoyed it really. So
nice to hear.
There's a person also, I think Isabel, that's gonna join you in June or July.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I think I remember her bookings. Yeah. Okay. I'm looking forward to meet you, Isabel. All right, Valdir. Do you want me to help you in?
Yeah,
into the suit.
Let's. So it's basically 4 layers. You have your underlayer, then you have another underlayer, then you have the third for heat, and then fourth for the dry suit.
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe I'll tell people a little bit about the basics of it. So I will have dry gloves over here that connects like this. So I stay completely dry from the neck down. Okay. Everything is dry except for my hat. That I will have a wet hood that goes over there. So once you go into the water, you are just like a balloon. You completely float on the water. Okay. So there's no effort that goes into staying afloat.
Paddling, yeah, okay.
So it's usually this is just a really relaxing activity. People will just be floating in the water, almost just drifting with the current, and just like be amazed at the scenery. But it is like because the water is very cold to start with, you're gonna feel a little bit of sting on your exposed skin. But it is like I always tell people this. They find it strange and don't believe me, but this is completely true. So you get a little bit of sting. It stays like that for exactly 1 minute, and then you go numb and you don't feel about it anymore. And it's like no one comes out of the water and says, "Oh, I was so cold in the lips." It's just like this is not the place where you get cold. So, but it is a little bit of shock to start with. So, but in regarding to the body, you feel completely warm towards the whole snorkel. Towards the end, you might get a little bit chilly and feel it in your fingers. And of course, the more you move around, the warmer you stay.
Excellent. Sounds good. But there was a person talking about that she needs a dive certificate to be able to dive here. Yeah. And you also do that, right? You train people to dive like a. Yeah.
So it's one thing about scuba diving. These are 2 completely different experiences. And for someone who is a diver, this is it's definitely something on most divers' bucket list. So one thing to keep in mind that you both have to have like an open water certificate, a normal scuba diving license, and then you have to add the dry suit license. So you must learn how to use the dry suit before doing this. Okay. And this is just a mandatory rule that the National Park has done. So people can do this back at their home, show me their dry suit license, or they can contact me and I can do the course with them. So it's like a benefits to both. If you do the course back home, you're not spending your holiday doing a course, but if you do the course with me, you're doing the course in my equipment. So when you do the dive, you are familiar with my equipment, and you usually have you enjoy the dive more. So it's just like absolutely contact me if you want to do the scuba dive. That's a proper way to do this for scuba diver, but it's the effort you have to do this scuba dive is quite a lot to do the certification versus the snorkeling thing, because even though you do the snorkeling, you get a lot out of this because you're on the surface, but you still see all the place because the visibility is so clear. When you scuba dive, you get that different angle, which is really nice. But even with the snorkeling, you're getting a really good experience out of it.
Sounds good. So shall I shoot up?
Of course. Where do you want to place it?
I think we're gonna be okay over here.
Yes.
If you could stand over here for just a spell, just while I check the. Perfect.
Very good. So I always tell people that you know, if you
the sound is going to be a little bit muffled right now because we are a little bit far away from the mic, but you see what's going on.
Yeah. I always give people the opportunity if you want to use the back seats to have the privacy. It's different between people, yeah. But yeah. So this is your top layer.
So like I said earlier, I have like this wool merino underlayer, but as you see, it provides at least you know, basically all the things that you need.
And it might be a good idea to leave the watch because you know, we have some tight fittings around our wrists.
Okay. Good point. I was looking forward to getting it like the activity registered, you know.
No.
You're gonna have to do some work on.
No, it didn't happen. There you go.
Slow TV. Yeah, I should have put my socks over the
Yep.
the whole things. I see that now. Like that. So how long, you know, do we spend like mostly
In a snorkeling tour, we usually go like 25 minutes in the water. So this is a nice feature because it keeps it from going up like we just had. So if you put it properly, then
if you do it correctly, then
yes, then it works like it's supposed to do.
Yes.
Okay, so put this layer on.
It's such adventure to do things like this in life. You're stressed that people are, you fall over or.
And you can feel that this is a really good isolation.
Yes.
All right, next up is the dry suit.
Dry suit. Just gonna fix this a little bit. Takes time.
I think it actually might be a good idea if you sit over here and I'll help you put it up like this.
Okay.
I'll just drop the camera up. There you go.
That's my belly show.
All right, so most important thing is just to keep the suspenders out of the way. Get this on like pants. And it might be a good idea if you sit on the bench over here. Okay. Very good. Get your feet in here.
It's been a while since somebody clothed me.
Yeah. So I always get this on a chore. I feel like a kindergarten teacher putting clothes on kids.
Well, I'm used to it just the other way around.
Very good. Perfect. There you go. And now you can stand. It's best to put the suspenders. Yeah, just like so. Very good. Let's get the suit over your hips. So it's best to start with the left arm, getting it in here. Okay. There you are. Right arm. Right arm. Where's the hole?
Yep, almost there.
Yeah. There you go. Alright. Perfect. Alright. So this is a fun thing to do, especially with where you don't have a hair. This is usually a little bit worse when you have a... So it's best, I'm going to help you put on the neck seal, so it's best if you bend down a little bit and then just push it all the way through and try to get it quickly.
Okay.
But it's popular to take a video of this. There you are. Very good. Now you are in a dry suit. Alright. So, you know, it's always, it is a little bit uncomfortable to have the neck seal tight like it is.
Yes.
But this is just like a, this is what's necessary to keep the water out. Yeah. But yeah, it will be a little bit easier once we're in the water, laying on our stomach.
Sounds good.
All right. I'm going to sit you up. There you go. And you have this crouch strap over here, and you connect it to the buckle over there.
Crazy, man. So everybody with us?
So, you know, yeah, the basics of the snorkeling, if you've done a snorkeling before, this is all the same. You know, you have this on. If you get a little bit of water in the mask, you know, the only thing, like, you will float completely on the surface, and it's very easy to get the head out. If you get a little bit of water inside the mask, you just need to pull it up, open it like this, and the water will just drain out. Okay. If you get some water in the snorkel, two things you can do. You can just exhale forcefully, it will go out. And since this is the purest water on the planet, you can also just drink it.
Okay.
All right.
So really pure water, so you can basically just have all the water that you can drink.
Yeah.
Hi Julie and Jody and Patty. There are about 200 people now, 215.
Nice to see you all.
Yeah, I feel like a superhero also.
So once we, I'm gonna give you like these undergloves that works as an isolation for your hands.
Is it too late to tell you that I need to pee?
Yes. But I get that a lot. We have this one saying that like if you pee in a dry suit, you buy a dry suit. So yeah, so once you get on these gloves over here, that completes your astronaut suit. Yeah. What size of hood do you think you need? Large. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just put mine on to start with,
Yep.
and then I'll help you in yours.
And guys, maybe you'll we're gonna put the phone in the bag before you head in. So maybe the sound will be a little bit muffled, or you know, we'll just, this is, I think nobody has done a live snorkel before, so I think we'll just have to figure things out. So at least you'll see the views of the place. And all right, Valur, I have your stuff over here.
Okay. Excellent.
Here you go. Very good. There you are. Clicks just like that.
It's gonna be strange to use the phone.
Very good. And your hood. Okay, so if you'll just pull it to the sides, I'll pull it from the back and I'll just place it over your head, just like so. Looking good. All right. Here's your mask and snorkel, and I also have some pins for you over here.
Yes. So before you put on the, I think we need to take the phone off the gimbal.
So we'll be putting the phone in a waterproof bag like this. The sound will probably get a little bit muffled, but this way we'll be able to take the phone a little bit down under the surface so you can enjoy the show.
Beautiful. So I'm gonna disconnect now the microphone. So let's see. Perfect.
If it's the last thing you hear from us, it was nice.
It was nice to have you along.
Yeah. All right, looks like it's still on. Perfect.
So guys, do you hear us okay? Is the sound okay? Good sound, Julie? Yeah, thank you.
Are they
Excellent.
hearing us?
Yes, they're hearing
Perfect.
us.
All right, well, there's nothing to wait for but get into the water. Are you able to take this? I'll handle this so you can hold the phone back.
This is a little bit of an experiment, Avariva. So usually you don't bring the phone into the water unless you have your some kind of he at least doesn't insure the phone, that's for sure. So okay, I see the sound is good, or isn't bad at least. So this is going to be one of, if the phone turns off at some time, you know what happened.
I'm excited, guys.
This has been on your bucket list for quite some time, Oliver.
Yes, it's been and I've always, like many things, you're always thinking about doing it next month or,
Yep.
and then years fly and you are kids and see how beautiful clear that is. Just gonna, so that's similar like we saw earlier, the lake and the path. Better to be safe than sorry.
Gummi, ekki þetta frá því til þess að halda. Það hvað á veginn við þetta?
Og það bara að halda svona í sitt og gandan. Glæsilegt.
Hún á upptöku, já.
Við erum bara live.
Þið eru bara live. Okay, so it's best that I help you in the fins, so you just hold them like this, give me a foot backwards, and this is just like we put shoes on horses. There you go. There you are. Those are big fins.
Yes.
So there's one important thing that we have to do regarding the mask, and that is to make sure it doesn't like fog up on the inside. Okay. So I'm going to give you this anti-fog, just gel. You rub this completely in on the glass. Once we get into the water, we'll rinse it off, and then I'll help you put on the mask.
Are you excited, guys? Það eru 200 manns að fylgjast með.
Já.
All good?
All right. Takk Gummi. Of rinse.
And do you want to switch?
Okay, feels good?
Yep.
All right, so it's nothing really to wait for, but the audience the show. And have a look under the surface.